I mean the layout I think is really good. Like Adam has said, it's really good to give people the layout of what the parameters mean and how you could use that in your prompts. I think if you're coming from chat, it's a real uh, it's a foreign language. It's like you don't know what any of that means, and you also may not be taking advantage of the taking advantage of it because those tools help your picture come to life and really bring out the creativity. I think a lot of people that say, "Oh, I don't like Midjourney," or it doesn't work well, or it doesn't do it, is because you're not utilizing the parameters. Because if you're just putting in your basic prompt, you're gonna get the basic stuff every time. But once you start, tweaking the parameters and understanding how they work, it can really bring it to life.
No, I completely agree.
I
Adama,
agree
what
with
about
you.
you?
I agree with that. What he just said, totally. I remember having that conversation with Uriah when I first went over to Midjourney, and I was just like, okay, some of these, it's okay, it's all right. I mean, it gave me like that artist look, but I was like, it's okay. What is this? What are we doing? But then he was like, have you tried? I'm like, what is that? And then I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it in, and it didn't. It gave me back that horrible red sign, that that's why I feel like. But then I loved how you said the two dashes, like the dashes that need to go to put that in there. And then you explained the parameters of that part. I love that. That was I wish I had that when I first started out mid journey. Like if you don't put those dash and then break it down, it's going to just tell you that it does not understand what you're trying to do, or it's invalid, or some kind of code that it gives. But what you just gave right there is solid. That's solid. In my mind, I'm also thinking like, you just gave a whole class away. But that, yeah,
Okay,
it's awesome.
so if you were a new person, what would you ask me about that? Like we'll pretend that I'm gonna teach about those things. What would you ask me as a new person that maybe didn't understand it?
What does that actually mean? Stylize.
Okay, so stylize for dash dash s. That is how I use it. Is That's how I give Midjourney creative freedom to play with my prompt a little further. So if you are closer to the zero side of that slider, you're saying, hey, stick closer to the prompt. Don't be going off course, Midjourney. Don't be doing Midjourney after dark. If you give it Midjourney dash dash S 500, you're saying, okay, play with this prompt a little bit, but stay along these lines. Yeah, Jen put it up on the screen. So 750 to 1,000 is saying, hey, Midjourney, just go crazy, have a blast, but make it about this general topic within the prompt. And Midjourney will give you a wide variety of output, and it won't necessarily, you'll get four of the images with the one prompt, but all four of those images may look very similar. So that's where chaos comes into play. So what chaos is where if I'm closer to the zero part of the slider, I'm saying, hey, keep those images very similar. I'm looking for a tailored, specific result. If you're closer to the 100 side of the slider, you're saying, hey, give me more variety. Change the way the hair is, the way that they're posed, the way what they're wearing, maybe even to location where they are located. The 100 side of the slider is basically saying, give me more dynamic results versus, hey, just stick to this. I want him or her to look like this only. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. Also, I mean, that's a lot of numbers to choose from. So, like, what's your go-to? So I don't have to go one, two, or 100 and test each one. That just seems like I mean, and that's just for chaos, and for stylize is to 1,000.
Yeah.
What's your go-to numbers, or like what's your sweet spot? What's the ranges if you want to like mid to low to high to, obviously we know the max, but
I'm closer to the low side. If I'm really trying to get a good quality result on the stylized, I will stick to the low side. So I'm somewhere 0 to 15 max. If I'm really trying to keep this to a dialed in, very specific image. I want to give Midjourney a little creative freedom, but not much. Hey, do what I'm asking you or telling you to do. With chaos, I am closer to the 35, 45 range because I want a lot of different results. I'm using my images for a lot of different reasons. So I need a lot of different style of results. So I don't want them all to be exactly the same. So with chaos, I'm very much in the middle, like closer to that low middle range, I'll say 30, 35, 40, maybe if I'm pushing it. For quality, I'm between quality, Q2 and Q5. That's just my style, what I'm looking for, but also knowing that I'm going to make these move at some point by taking them into cling. Yeah, I'm using Q5 a lot. So my rendering time takes a little longer, but because I'm making so many outputs, I don't really worry about how long it takes. I'll have enough to choose from.
right. So just to clarify, when we're on 6.1, version 6.1, I think it maxes out at Q2.
Ah,
I just
bro,
saw
go back. Try Q5.
try
Try
Q5.
Q5.
Okay, all right.
Hey, try Q5. I've been able to do it and get away with it. And so maybe now that we go to version 7, which I saw an update last night about rating images, and maybe we can ask Adma about that later on in the show. Um, I don't know what that looks like as we're getting ready to get some updates on Midjourney. I know they've been talking about version 7 for a while. It hasn't quite rolled out, but when it rolls out, I don't know what these parameter levels are going to look like at that point. So this is a not how to, but more how I do what I do in Midjourney. There's not really a set way. You can do it however you want, but I'm with you, Ryan. I push buttons. I'm gonna push the buttons. So if they didn't turn it off and they still let me get away with Q5, I'm gonna use it until they turn it off.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
So my question is, um, how does how does chaos affect your like? How does chaos affect your overall image? Like how, like the more you increase it, how does it affect your overall image?
So
It goes.
I think that I kind of know what you're referring to. We had a question early on in the week that I asked in the group, and one of the responses was about how chaos affects the images. Is that fair to say you're referring to that?
Yes, because a lot of people are afraid to use it.
I got you. I got you. Okay. So for me, and I put some prompts in the chat. So we'll use any one of those 4 prompts that I put in the chat.